Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Keep It Pro training call, brought to you by Networking Wisdom each and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific for the past 5 years. The purpose of this call is not only to learn skills for success in business and network marketing, but also in life. Thank you for joining. My name is Meredith, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce the creator and host, Mr. Romacio Fulcher. Romacio is a well-sought-after leader, trainer, and coach, as well as a very successful international entrepreneur. At the age of 25 years old, he made his first millions in mortgage and real estate. Shortly thereafter, he was introduced to network marketing. Because he was the ideal student and learned from the best, he quickly rose to the top. In fact, he has been one of the top 50 MLM income earners in the entire world. He has over 750,000 people in his organization and has done over $1 billion in sales. He knows how to make money, and he knows how to make money fast. He loves to have fun, but most of all, he loves to share the wisdom he has gained over the years. In fact, he has helped countless individuals make life-changing income all over the world. What I love most about Romacio is his ability to know exactly what his audience needs to hear each and every time he speaks. I highly suggest that you find a quiet place and grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes and remember these nuggets of wisdom he's going to share today. Without further ado, here is your millionaire mentor, the California Kid, Mr. Romacio Fulcher.
Thank you so much, Meredith, for stepping up. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? All right. Thank you so much for being our host. We appreciate you for stepping up. And I want to welcome everyone back again to another edition of the Keep It Pro Sunday training call. If you're just joining in with us, guys, we've been doing this call now for over 5 years. I want to encourage you to bookmark this time, bookmark this phone number. This is a platform that some 5 years ago we started. And, guys, I got to tell you, it has been absolutely incredible in terms of the impact that this call has had, not just on me, but literally thousands of other people all across the globe. For those of you that are brand new, or maybe a friend of yours told you to stop by and check it out, let me just kind of paint a picture for you. This call is open to anyone. It doesn't matter what company. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your spiritual or religious background. It doesn't matter whether you are a believer, non-believer, heathen. It really doesn't matter. It's open to you, okay? Now, you say, well, and it's absolutely free. We don't charge you anything. We don't sell you anything. And if you want to know what is our agenda, what is our focus, why do we do this call, there are two specific things. I want to underline the word specific. There are two specific things that we teach on Sunday after Sunday. The first thing that we teach on is we teach you the specific skills. Underline the word specific skills of what it takes for you to get to the top of whatever it is that you're promoting. Doesn't matter whether you're selling peanuts or you're selling spaceships. We're going to teach you the specific skills that it takes you to get to the top. The second thing that we teach you guys is we teach you life skills as well. The reason why we teach life skills, because this call is designed for people that have an entrepreneurial bone in their body. This call is not designed for you to hear these words and do nothing. This call is designed for you to hear these words and instantly take action. So again, I repeat, this is a free call for some 5 years plus and going that we've been doing for people just like you. Again, you may be wondering, wait a minute, why do they give me so much free value? Why do we do it? There is one favor we would ask of you. There's one request that I would ask of you. We believe what we make happen for others, God will gladly make it happen for us. That is our mission. That's our motto. We stand by that, and we will never change it. We believe the secret to success is inside of the word giving. What we make happen for others, God will gladly make it happen for you. You know, somebody that's listening to me, whether live or maybe you're catching the replay, maybe you're a domestic listener, maybe you're an international listener, but somebody just got blessed, just with that simple sentence alone. What we make happen for you, what you make happen for others, God will gladly make it happen for you. See, somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to be reminded that it's just that simple, that your blessing is all determined based upon who you bless. Did you know that you are an answer to somebody's prayers? No, listen, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a preacher. I'm just a marketplace minister who's assigned to do this call. This is one of my assignments, to do this. And I'm just doing it the best I can, and trust me, my best is more than enough. I'm going to say it again. I'm talking to little old you, no matter who you are, where you are, did you know that you are the answer to someone's prayers? Let me paint a real clear picture for you so that you don't leave this call misunderstood. I know that life is not easy. I know that life has trials and tribulations. Woo, boy, do I know. I know that life is unfair at times. And I know sometimes the load gets so heavy on some of you that you almost don't know where to turn. I know that no human being under the sound of my voice is perfect. All of us are flawed. All of us make mistakes. All of us have many, many things, issues, if you will, that we need to work on. But in the same breath, I also know that even though you may be going through whatever it is you're going through, there's a man named Jesus that I know that paid the price for me and you. And even if you represent his name, even if you call on him or not, the facts remain he paid the price for all mankind, and all of us are his children. One of the things I love about Jesus is that even when we're not rocking with him and we're not shouting and chanting his name and walking in his spirit, his love does not deter. His love does not go away. His hand is unchanging. What am I saying to you? I want to make it clear to you that even if you are not representing him in the name of love, and he's still representing you. So the facts are, some 2,000 years ago, he shed his blood, he died on Calvary, and he paid, say it with me, he paid the price for me and you. He paid the price. Now, what does that mean? That means despite all of your issues, despite all of your flaws, despite all of your frustrations, despite all of the things that you do wrong, that you, like Paul said, the things that I ought not do, I do. And the things that I should not do, you guys know what I'm saying. So whether it is that you're struggling with sin or whatnot, or whatever it is, I want you to know that you still have a gift. You still have a purpose. You still are the answer. I'm talking to you. You are the answer to someone's prayers. That's why the motto of this call is, what we make happen for others, God will make it happen for you. See, it's very important for you to know that, yes, we know that you're waiting on a blessing. There's something that you're waiting on God to do for you. Now, somebody say, I don't need God. I can do it all by myself. Well, I beg to differ. That's just flat out ignorance. You can't do it by yourself. If you could have, you would have, right? Okay, so let's let the record show that you do need some assistance. You do need some help, okay? And what I'm trying to get across to you right now, before we dive deep into what we're going to talk about today, I want you to understand that despite. Matter of fact, say it with me. Let's say it nice and slow. Repeat after me. Despite my flaws, despite my issues, I still have a purpose. I still have a gift inside of me. Let me say it again, one more time. Come on. Play along. Come on. Play along, guys. This will help you for those of you that want to be helped. Now, if you just want to sit there and waddle in misery, depression, frustration and anguish, I'm going to pray for you. I would hope that you're on this call because you want to exit your situation, not remain in it. So play along, I said. Repeat after me. Despite my issues, despite my flaws, despite all of my issues, I still have a purpose. I still have a gift deep inside of me. Now that you've said that now twice, it is imperative that you understand that even though you have issues, trials, tribulations, weaknesses, we all have those things, Jesus paid the price with his blood, okay? And so now what I want you to do is stop worrying about your issues. God already knew all of his children had some issues. He already knew it, okay? What I want you to shift your focus to is that there is a gift inside of you. And when you finally uncover what your gift is and you begin to give it away and make it happen for others, God is going to turn right back around and make it happen for you. You say, well, how do you know this? Because God has been so good to me. He has tremendously blessed me beyond measure. If he never did anything else for me ever again, he's already done way more than enough. And I look at me, just a poor little wretched soul that was once lost but now found. Just somebody flawed with issues galore. And I thank God for his grace and his mercy and how he's been able to still bless me in spite of. In other words, what am I saying in layman's terms? If it was me if I was the judge and I was the one to decide if I should be blessed the way I've been blessed, I don't think I would have done all this for me. So I thank God that it's his grace, it's his mercy that carries me. It's his grace, his mercy that forgives me. It's his grace, his mercy that continues to still shine the bright light of blessings all over me. And I know that if he's doing it for me, I know he'll do it for you. And so what I want you to do, if you're going to listen to this free, accurate information that we're going to give you week in and week out, I want you to subscribe to the philosophy of what I make happen for others. That's right. Say it again. What I make happen for others. Say it again. What I make happen for others. God is going to make it happen for me. Let's break that down a little bit. What do you mean, what I make happen for others? Do you know some people, they need constant encouragement? You know, there was a young man, I won't say his name. He was telling me the story just a couple days ago that nobody in his family ever supported him. Nobody in his family ever encouraged him and told him he could touch the ceiling and he could be all that he could be and he could go on and do this and do that. And, you know, he was hanging out with me and some of the people that I know, some of my family. He said, I love your family. I love your family, man. Your family always encourages me, and they always just remind me of what's possible. He said, you know, I never had that as a young man. I never had that. See what I'm saying? You thought encouragement was nothing. You thought, oh, my God, it's just some old words. You know, what do they say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. So what I'm saying is some of you have the gift of encouragement. Some of you have the gift of intercession. Some of you have the gift of prayer. Some of you have the gift of comedy. Some of you have the gift of you always know how to figure out a solution for everything. Some of you have the gift of just high activity. You just take action. Some of you have the gift of you just got massive confidence. I mean, you believe to the nth degree. You see what I'm saying? Each inside of all of us, we all matter. Listen to me. God didn't make any mistakes. You do matter. But here's what I got to get you to understand. I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down. You matter. Okay, number one. I want you to understand that when they dig deep into the ground to find a diamond, initially it does not look like a diamond. A diamond has it's covered in mud, it's covered in dirt. It doesn't look like a diamond at all. But once they pressure wash it and they wash it off and they clean it up and they put it under fire and get it and, you know, make it all pretty, the next thing you know, it glistens. And it's so bright, you can see it from miles away. But here's the point I want to make to you. It was still a diamond when it was covered in all the dirt. When it was covered, and it didn't look like it still had its authenticity as a diamond even when it was covered in dirt. What is the point that I'm making through the story? The point is, even though you may have a drinking problem, even though you may have an addiction of whatever it may be, whatever your issue is, we all have them, myself included. You still are a diamond. You still matter. See, what the enemy wants you to do He wants you to believe that you are of no good until you finally become perfect. And write this down for the record. You will be more help to the world through your imperfections than you ever will through your perfections. Let me say it again. You will be of more help to other people through your imperfections than you ever will when you finally get it all perfectly right. You see, when you get something and you're real perfect with it, although it may sound good, look good, feel good, it's very difficult to minister, to help people, because when people are done listening to you or watching your performance, whatever it is you may be doing, they're intimidated because they feel like, I'm just not that perfect. I can't do it like that. In one breath, they're inspired. Wow, right? In another breath, they're intimidated because I can't do that. That would take me forever. I don't know if I could do it that way, think that way, speak that way. I just can't do it. So I won't even try. I'll save myself the embarrassment. Rather than imagine yourself giving a speech and perhaps, you're very nervous and speaking is not your thing. Imagine going before a group of people and saying something like, I'm very nervous. I am very scared to do this. And I have been scared for so long in speaking. And I'm sure many of you out there probably share the same fear that I have. But today I refuse to live in fear. I'm going to press through. I may stutter. I may mess up some words. I may split some syllables. But I want to stand before you guys today as a beacon of hope, a message of perseverance, that if I can press through to do the best I can right here in this moment, I wonder what you can do as well. You see, that's inspiring. That fires me up. That gets me fired up, folks, because it's saying stop looking at my imperfections. I already know I'm fat. I already know I don't sound the best. I already know I got an accent. But you know what? I'm still here. Somebody say, I'm still here. I'm still going to let my light shine, right? And this kind of leads right into what today's message is going to be about. Today's message, guys, I want to talk to you about one word. I know that this is November. We've got just a few days left before we cross over into 2022. Can you believe it? I remember it was almost, I can't believe I'm about to say this. It was almost 22 years ago when myself and my friends said, man, we getting ready to go into the 2000s. Man, that sounds like we going into space. Well, guys, I want to give you one word. And before I give you this word, I want to make sure I do it its proper justice. I know that somebody on this line today is desperately hoping that they'll be able to get pregnant one day. I know that somebody on this line right now is desperately hoping for restoration to happen in their health, for God to restore their health. I know that somebody on this line that's listening right now has been praying and hoping for God to restore their children back. I know that some mother or some father is listening and they're hoping for reconciliation in their marriage because they're embarrassed behind the way it's looking in front of their children. I know that somebody on this line is praying for financial prosperity so that they can live in their purpose and begin to do a good work in their communities. I know that somebody on this line is praying for a backsliding wife or a backsliding husband, and they're looking and praying for reconciliation. I know that somebody on this line is praying for healing in their children. Somebody's praying for deliverance for an addiction. Somebody's praying for clarity in their mind. Somebody's hoping and praying for depression to flee. I know that somebody on this line, it just seems like it's been an eternity, and they're just wondering if it's ever going to happen for them. Whether we're talking finances, whether we're talking health, whether we're talking relationship, whether we're talking promotion in a business or a job. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit you square between the eyes with one word. I come before you as God spoke to me today and said, listen, this is the word I want you to dive into on this call on this Sunday. This is the word. And it got confirmed several places here today. I'm going to give you one word, but before I give it to you, I want to make the record straight. I'm not here to inspire you. If you find inspiration Well, that's great. But I'm here as a confirmation. I want my voice and what I'm about to say to you to be confirmation of what to do. God created me to make things simple. He created me to make things simple, to take the complex and break it down into simple pieces that everybody can understand. And so I'm going to give it to you simple. I'm going to give you one word. Now, before I give you this word, some of you are going to be excited when I give you this word, while some of you are going to be like, wait a minute, that's all? Well, listen, God, he makes it simple for his children. I'm going to give you one word. Before I give you the word, I want you to understand we all are flawed. We all miss the mark. Nobody's perfect. You never have been, and you never will be. You never will be perfect, ever. But you still have a gift inside of you. You still have blessings that are coming your way. You still can speak in authority and begin to ask mountains to be moved. You still have power in you despite you have issues. Remember, your issues have already been paid for. So stop nailing yourself to the cross over something that's a flaw of yours, that's an issue of yours, something that's still under construction. And so I want to give you this one word because this word is so powerful. It's so profound. If we had more time and we were to go through the scriptures, I would show you how this one word is applicable to all the great prophets that saw miracles come to pass. Woo! Gets me fired up just thinking about it. This one word you'll be able to trace from men to women all throughout the Bible that were able to see miracles come to pass. Now listen, I want to encourage you before I give you this word, you're going to have to step out of your feelings. And I know that that's very hard for some of us to do. I've struggled with that for many times. I thought, well, when you love God and when you believe in God and when you're trying to live in faith, I thought it always had to feel right. Well, guess what? I was sincere when I told people that I thought it always had to feel right. Well, guess what I learned? I learned that I was sincerely wrong. You see, the deeper you go, the more you grow, right? I started to begin to learn and study and really research. And upon me doing the research, that's when I learned that, my feelings don't have anything to do with what God promised. Woo! That was heavy. I learned that, see, God is not a man. He's not a woman. He's not a human being. He's a spirit, and his word does not lie. His word will never come back null and void. What he spoke will always come to pass in the fullness of time. So I had to learn my feelings don't have nothing to do with the matter. And so I'm going to give you this word, but before you take this word, you got to understand that this word that I'm going to give you is good in the winter. It's good in the spring, summer, and the fall. This word that I'm about to give you, it works even when you're living in sin and still missing the mark. This word that I'm about to give you still works even when you got it 95% right, but that last 5% you're just struggling with. This word that I'm about to give you, it works even though you are a wretched, flawed human being. And I can't wait to unveil this word to you, but I want to make sure you got your pen and your paper. I want to make sure you are in a mindset right now, speaking to yourself, Lord, give it to me. Give it to me. Just one word. I just need one word to know of give me one word of confirmation of what I need to continue doing over the next days, the next weeks, the next month, so I can manifest what it is that you've promised, what it is I've been hoping for. And just use me. Sometimes it's better to listen to someone you don't even know. That's how you know God is real. Speaking into your situation. You know you never told me what's going on with you. But sometimes God will use somebody you don't even know just to get you to a place that you're trying to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the word I want to give you, the word he's shared to give you, is the word persistence. One word, persistence. That is the word for every single person listening to this call, either live or you're listening to the replay. The word for you right now is persistence. Persistence. Write it down. Write it down. Persistence. You got to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep persistent. I know some of you are tired, but I forgave them already. Forgive them again. But I'm scared to fall back in love because the last time I got hurt with love again. But I just don't know if I can trust my employer to do it one more time. You know, but how do I? The word for you is to keep persisting. Keep going. See, the enemy wants you to be tired, busted, and disgusted. It wants you to be covered in depression. It wants you to be covered in sorrow. It wants you to be covered in shame. God is a spirit. Listen to me and listen to me well. It is very difficult for God to really come into the fullness and to begin to manifest in its fullness. Let me say that slow. It is very difficult for God to manifest what it is he has for you in its fullness when you are living in depression, when you're living defeated, when you're living in shame, when you're living in self-doubt, when you're living in financial ruins and you just don't believe it can happen to you. Remember, Satan uses fear to promote his agenda while God... I'm going to say it again. Write it down. Satan uses fear to promote his agenda while God uses faith to promote his. So the reason why the word persistence, because, see, faith without any works is absolutely dead. At the beginning of the call, I said, don't be the person that just listens to me. Oh, it's such a wonderful call. Makes me feel good every Sunday. That is not what my aim or focus is every Sunday, to make you feel good. Oh, no, that is not why I'm taking an hour of my life free of charge to sit here and make you feel good. That is not the point of the call. I said, don't be a hearer of this word, but be a doer of this word. Hear this word and instantly take action. And the reason I said that is because without action, without persistence, all that you're believing, all that you're hoping for will never come to pass. You have to understand, the Bible says they took up their beds and walked. And as they walked, they were healed. Not while they were sitting at the dock of the bay, waiting on God to drop it from the heavens above and healing came. No. That's why the word I'm giving you today is persistence. It's as they went, as they walked, they were healed. What's that? Now, what does that have to do with your financial prosperity? What does it have to do with your relationship? What does it have to do with your promotion? As you continue to walk, as you continue to push forward, as you continue to keep digging and recruiting and digging and building, as you continue to keep loving and forgiving and loving, as you continue, I know it hurts, but as you continue to keep persisting, that is when God will come in and he will do the rest. You do your best and he'll do the rest. You do your best and he'll do the rest. Now, I know some of you are saying, but I've done my best. I've done all I can do. I just can't do. Don't say that. Don't say that. Scripture tells us God will never put more on you than you can bear. But I don't understand, Romacio. I just can't bear anymore. First of all, whatever situation that you find yourself in, whether you did it, whether you did it on purpose or it happened because of some sort of injustice, remember these words. If God brought you to it, with faith and action, God will bring you through it. If God brought you to it, with faith and action, God will bring you through it. The message of the story is the enemy wants you to feel defeated. The enemy wants you to believe there is no God. There is no such thing as faith. The enemy wants you to only believe in what you can see. That's what the enemy wants you to do. And what you can physically see does not look like what you've been hoping for, believing for, praying for. You see, so the enemy wants you to to live by sight and not by faith. That's what the enemy wants. And you have that choice, my friend. But I'm telling you as an entrepreneur, if you think things are always going to look the way that you want them to look, if you think 24 hours a day, you're going to be unscathed, you're going to be, there won't be any bumps and bruises in your life in one area or another, you clearly don't know how this thing really works. I'm letting you know from the happenings of my own life, I can tell you for certain, with 1,000% accuracy, you, my friend, no matter how perfect you may be trying to live your life, no matter how hard you work and all the stuff you do, I'm letting you know there are going to be injustices that happen to you. Yes, it will. You say, well, how do we know? If it happened to Jesus, I can promise you it's going to happen to you. And so what I want you to understand is, what do you do when you feel like the world is caving in on you? What do you do? You're getting up in age and you're wondering, will love ever come my way? Will I ever have a baby? Will I ever have a wife? Will I ever have this? Will I ever have finances? Will it ever happen to me? Will I ever get the promotion? Will I ever get healed? I'm telling you the answer right now, and I hope and pray you choose to receive and believe what it is that I'm saying. The answer is persistence. The answer is persistence. You got to keep digging. You got to keep going. You got to keep ensuing. You got to keep opening your mouth, speaking it. That you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. I remember when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane, and they say he prayed for hours. They say he prayed so hard that he began to sweat, and blood began to come down from his head. That's how hard he was praying. And he said, Father, will you let this bitter cup pass? And what does that mean? It means all the issues that I have, that I can see, that I can feel. Do I have to go through this? And then Jesus quickly caught himself and he said, Father, if it is your will, let it be so. In other words, his fleshly desires, because remember, Jesus was flesh, his fleshly desires was just like you and ours, just like you, it was just like mine and yours. His desires was, Lord, can we just skip this? Can I just skip over this? I'm so sick and tired of this. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Can I just skip over this? But then he caught himself and said, well, Father, if it is your will, then let it be so. And so what I'm letting you know, that even though trials and tribulations are going to land on your doorstep, my friend, you may be in a trial or a tribulation right now, okay? I'm letting you know these things have to come to pass. They have to happen. This is not an accident. They have to happen. But here's what I want to leave you with. Here's what I want to leave you with. I want to leave you with one scripture to back up what I said. The word for everybody today is persistent. Keep going. Keep loving. Keep digging. Keep recruiting. Keep working. Keep praying. Don't stop. This is not the time to run out of gas. I want to leave you with one scripture. It's 1 Peter, the 4th verse. 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, and the 12th verse. One more time. 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, and the 12th verse. And it reads, Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trials when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were to happen to you. But rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when the glory is revealed. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. This is from the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. I know many of you have never cracked it open. That's fine. But let me just share something with you, a word of truth. One more time. It says, do not be surprised at the fiery trials when it comes upon you to test you. In other words, Scripture is telling us you're going to go through fiery trials. Okay? It's just letting you know. It's going to happen. It has to happen. But the fiery trials, when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were to happen to you. In other words, when it's happening to you, your first instinct is to want to look at it as though this is mighty strange. What have I done? Why is these things happening to me? I thought you said you loved me, God. What's going on? See, that's your first instinct. But look at what it says in verse 13. It says, but what? Rejoice. Stop right there. In other words, get happy. Now I know that's hard for some of you to do, but see, if you want to walk, if you want to walk by the Spirit and not by sight, you've got to understand it says to rejoice. Inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when the glory is revealed. Woo! What does that mean? It simply means, even though you may be suffering, continue to keep rejoicing, continue to keep pushing, continue to keep persisting, because the glory is soon to be revealed. There is no way God will bring you to this thing, and He won't bring you through this thing. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. God never said it would be easy. He never said it would be easy. Nobody ever told you faith was easy. But I can tell you faith is worth it, because there is a message in what you're going through. You're going through something that just feels heavy. It feels tough. You feel like you can't continue. You feel like you don't have any more gas in your tank. And that's why in Scripture it tells us to cast our cares upon Him. It gives us specific instructions on what we can do to shift our focus, to get our joy back, to get our laughter back, to get perspective back, and to actually get more energy. It says they that wait upon the Lord, their strength shall be renewed. And that's why I got to get each and every single one of you to understand you must continue to persist. Some of you have got business plans, business ideas that you started to try and go forward, and because it didn't go the way you thought it was meant to go, you instantly quit. I want you to dust that off, and I want you to pick that back up. Pick back up your dream. Pick that business plan back up, and I want you to persist. You got to keep digging. You see, when we saw God do the miracles all throughout the Word, they kept moving. They kept going. They didn't stop. That's the key. You can't stop. It's a testament of faith. See, if everything happened when you wanted it to happen, you wouldn't need God. Frankly, your character would not expand to great depths. But you become wise when you done been through some stuff. Notice the word I said, been what? Been through. Not been to it. I said been through it. Say it again. Not been to it. I've been to a thing. No. You got to go through it. And what we're here talking about right now at this moment is how you go through it. You got to keep persisting. You got to keep persisting. And that's why I'm thankful that we have a free platform where people can join in. We don't even know your name. No one's going to air your business, but we can still speak to your spirit. And you can leave off this call. Nobody charged you anything. And all we did was speak life into you, your situation, give you tips to help you as a word of confirmation, to reassure you you are going the right direction. And it's very important that everybody listening understand the importance of persistence. You got to keep going. You got to keep digging. You got to keep pushing. You got, and if you really want to, if you want to put some extra on it, and what does that mean? It just simply means if you really want to speed things up for you, I want you to remember this. Every harvest is tied to a seed that is sown. Let me say that again. Every harvest that you are expecting is tied to a seed that is sown. I'm going to say that one more time so that you can write that down. Ask God to reveal. Ask him to speak to your heart, speak to your mind so that you can understand clearly what I just said. One more time. Every harvest is tied to a seed that is sown. In other words, if you're expecting a harvest of financial restoration, for your finances to be restored, or maybe for you to be living in the overflow with more than enough finances, it's tied to a seed that was sown. Okay? If you are expecting, a wife or a husband that's been on the outs and been on the rocks and things just don't look good at all, and you want to see y'all back in a harmony like y'all was at the beginning and rolling and doing all the stuff y'all do, it's tied to a seed that was sown, okay? If you are expecting a harvest to be able to have reconciliation with a child of yours that you haven't seen or maybe not as close as you would like you and him or her to be, it's tied to a seed that was sown. Come on, boy. If you're expecting perhaps, to find the wife or the husband of your life or love or whatever it is, it's tied to a seed that was sown. What did I say? I said what? Every harvest is tied to a seed that was sown. That is not my word. That's Bible, folks. It's a principle. It's called seed time and harvest. It's called sowing and reaping. God honors sacrifice. Listen, write that down. God honors sacrifice. God honors sacrifice. Write that down. So when we talk about sowing, we're not just only talking about money, but we're talking about sacrifice. Anytime you are sacrificing something, that is a form of a seed. Woo! Man, this feels good right here, baby. Don't change that channel. Stay right there. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. That's it right there. So now I want you to be crystal clear why we're saying on this call you have to keep persisting. Because as you keep persisting, in other words, it's another form of you keep sowing. You keep giving. And the more you keep giving, you're sowing. You're sowing. You're sowing. You're sowing. And every harvest is tied to a seed. Every harvest is tied to a seed. Lord, I don't understand what's going on, but I trust you. Lord, I don't understand what's going on, but I trust you. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm tired, Lord, but you said in your word, they that wait upon the Lord, their strength shall be renewed. Lord, I need my strength renewed. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Lord, I don't understand this. I don't understand death. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand what's happening with this doctor report, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep believing because I'm not going to let the enemy take me out. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I may faint. I may get weary, but I'm not going to quit. And this is the good news, guys. This is the good news for you today. This is the good news. I want you to understand the power of persisting. And the more action that you take, woo, the more and more and more action that you take, that means that's the more faith, that's more faith that you're using. Faith is what's driving you to take the action. Because when you're doing the thing that you're doing it in faith, expecting it to work, expecting it to take you to where you want to go, expecting it to happen, the thing that you're believing for. So the more faith, that when anytime you hear me say faith, that means action. The more faith you take, ladies and gentlemen, the more attention, the more of God's attention you get. The more of God's attention you get. The more action that you take, and you just keep going. See, God sees your sacrifice. He sees you believing. You are believing. And what did I tell you? The enemy uses fear to promote his agenda. Well, God, he uses faith to promote his. See, God knows that you're believing in his word. That's why you keep doing what you're doing. And you keep going, and you keep dusting it off, and you keep speaking the word, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. You're believing. You're believing. You're believing. You're believing. So you don't have to scream up to God and say, God, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. God can see what you're doing. He can see your giving. He can see the seeds that you keep planting. He sees you. And that he's going to make that thing happen for you. It's got to happen. It has no choice but to happen. But if you really want to speed it up, if you really want to speed things up, then what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you to put a praise on it. And what does that mean when we say put a praise on it? What that simply means is as you're taking action, begin to actually speak scriptures. Begin to recite God's word back. And how can you recite God's word back if you don't know the word? So what that means is you're going to have to actually open up the Bible. You're going to actually get a few scriptures, get some of your favorite scriptures, and you're going to have to learn them and recite them back while you're taking action. Lord, I trust you. Yea, as I walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. I can do all things through Christ. I'm just giving you just a few scriptures. That I continue to recite as I'm doing the things that I'm doing, as I'm continuing to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with, again, the word persistence. Persistence. Persistence is your word. That's it. You're looking for confirmation. You're looking for direction. You're looking for clarity. I gave it to you right there. Persistence. You got to keep going. You got to keep sowing. And remember, your harvest is tied to a seed that is sown. Hey, guys, I'm the California Kid. I love you guys. I can't wait to get back here next Sunday. We are going to begin a new series next Sunday that is going to be off the hook. Tell your friends, get ready, get ready, get ready. Don't miss next Sunday. I love you guys. I'll see you guys all next Sunday. Goodbye, everybody.